So we're going to continue solving our past paper numbers in relation to algebra, and specifically doing numbers of algebra manipulation. So we have about 4 numbers to do here. The first one is here, number 1. Now we want us to expand and simplify. Before, in the previous numbers, have been expanding only two brackets, but now we are having 3 brackets. Have x minus 2, we have 2x plus 3, we also have x plus 4. So we are supposed to expand that and then later simplify it further. Our next number 2, we have factorizing now, and we are factorizing x squared minus 7x plus 12. Looks different and new. You wonder how you're going to factorize it completely. You may think that since x is common here and here, we can just factorize it out and leave the 12th, but that's not the case. We're going to see the simpler way of doing all that. Part B of number 2, it's the simplest of all. We are factorizing 5x plus 10y plus 6ny plus 3nx. Quite easy as well. And lastly, we are having number 3, where we are supposed to simplify this expression that has been given to us. It has both numerators and denominators. So in this video, we may not answer all of them. So I'm going to do a seal, and then I'll give you easier ways on how you can handle the rest of the numbers. So I'm going to first do the tricky one, and then later I show you a simpler way or how you can do the ones that are not tricky. And according to how I'm seeing, okay, I can begin with number 1, but I may not complete it. So for such a number, we're going to do part by part. For example, if you look at number 1, it is x minus 2 multiplied with 2x plus 3, and then multiplied by x plus 4. So we are multiplying 3 brackets, this, and that. So we are just going to do like how we've done in the previous video. First, we can work on this, get its answer, and then later multiply by whatever is in the last one. So we're going to handle these brackets first. So how do we do it? Simple as how we did last time. We're going to multiply x with everything this side, and then subtract 2, multiplying with everything. Inside, we are subtracting 2 because 2 is a negative. If it was a positive, we would just add it. Maybe to simplify it further, we can first actually rewrite it as you get x, I'm picking this x, multiplied by everything in the next bracket, then subtract 2, still multiply by everything the other side. If you don't have time, you may not have to do this. You can multiply it directly. But remember, this thing here is going to multiply with x plus 4 afterwards. So once x times 2x, we know it is 2x squared plus 3 times x, that is 3x. Since this is a minus and everything in the middle is plus, so we're going to minus everywhere. So minus 4x minus 6. This, you're going to multiply with x plus 4. Ideally, we are doing this the way we did last number, but after, we are going to multiply by x plus 4. Common here, we are having 2x squared, 3x minus 4x. It's the same as 3 minus 4. You can just keep the x silent, and this way will remain with minus 1x, which is minus x minus 6, and being multiplied by x plus 4. Simpler, because now we have 2 brackets. So from the 3 brackets that we had earlier, we now do have 2 of them. Now I'm not going to use the same way I did in the first place, because in the first place, I was picking, for example, x multiplied by everything here, then 4 multiplied by everything here. Now I'm going to do it directly. Okay? So I'm going to pick one value from here. I multiply with everything there. I pick another one. I multiply with everything there. I pick the third one. I multiply with everything there. And then a term, I can collect the like terms. So let's start with 2x. 2x times x, 2x squared times x, that is 2x cubed. Then 2x squared times 4, that is 8x squared. So 2x is done. You go to negative x times x, that's negative x squared. Negative x times 4, that is negative 4x. Negative 6 times 6, that's negative 6x. And negative 6 times 4, that's negative 24. And at this stage, we can now just collect like terms. Basically, they're already collected because the cubed is here, the squareds are here too, and the x's are here, and the constant is here. Meaning, we're going to have 2x cubed, 8x squared minus 1x squared, we remain with 7x squared, negative 4 minus 6, that's negative 10. But then add our 4, then minus 24. And this is the end. You cannot expand further. Actually, at this level, we had already expanded this second last, but then in the last one, we were simplifying. So the product of 3 brackets, first handle 2 of them after getting the answer, then including this, the last bracket. So I hope you've understood that. We can now proceed to the next number, number 2, where they want us to factorize. Now we have been expanding, but then we can be asked to factorize. So same thing we have here. They can ask you to trace it back. So from here to here, you've been expanding. So this is expanding. But also from here backwards, that is factorizing. Okay, and that's what the second number asks us to do. It wants us to factorize. So let's look at what number 2, part A wants. It is x squared minus 7x plus 12. Let's see how we are going to factorize this one back to form our 2 brackets. Since there is a square there, it means we're going to have 2 brackets. This became a cubed because we are multiplying 3 brackets and each bracket had an x in it. So basically, when you think of factorizing, we're going to use a factorization method of, I call it sum and product. Okay, this is the method that we're going to use in this case. So basically, I'm going to first write this in a standard form, or in a form that we can relate with best, which is ax squared plus bx plus c. You realize that there is a relationship between these two. They both have x squared, they both have x. They both have none of the x's, which is a constant c. So in this case, the coefficient of x squared is a, the coefficient of x is b, and the coefficient of and the last value or the constant is c. Okay, so I would like us to pick out what is the value of a in regards to the first number, what's the value of b in regards to the first number, and what's the value of c in regards to the first number. So you can easily realize that a is the coefficient of x squared, and from the upper number, a is 1. And then b is a negative 7, and then c is a 12. I hope that is clear. So you just pick out the coefficient of x squared, the coefficient of x, and the last value, which is the constant. And in this factorization method of sum and product, the sum means adding, really. So the sum is the b value, and the product is the a times c. The b product, that the b value, that is the sum, and the product value is a times c. Basically, from what we've done here, our sum is the coefficient of x, which is negative, and our product is a product of ac, which is 1 times 12, which is 12. So after getting our sum and product, the next level, we are going to find factors of our product value, which is 12. What are the factors of 12? Suppose we have 1 and 12. We have 2 and 6. And then we have 3 and 4. All those values that can be divided by 12. It's 12 divided by 12 is 1. 12 divided by 6 is 2. 12 divided by 3, which is 4. So in these numbers that we've found, we are going to pick 2 numbers, whereby when those 2 numbers are added, which is the sum, actually when they're added, they're going to give us a sum value. Meaning, the 2 numbers that we're going to pick from here, we start from up here, the 2 numbers that we are going to pick from here, when added, we should get a negative 7. And when multiplied, we should get a 12. I hope you're already seeing the answer. And so can it be 1 and 12? Of course, no. There is no way 1 and 12 can be added to get a 7. When multiplied, it's possible, but when added, it's never possible. Could it be 2 and 6? Always pick them in pairs. It easily gives you a correct answer. Is it 2 and 6? No, because even if we add 2 and 6, it's going to be 8. If you put 1 to be a negative, really, there is no way you can get a negative 7. Could it be 3 and 4? I hope we can all see that. The answer falls there because 3 plus 4 is 7 already. Okay? Yet, even if this is a negative 7, we can manipulate. You can manipulate this summation to come up with the exact value that we need. So, from that, you realize that the numbers are 3 and 4, but you're going to manipulate them so that they give us the exact answer there. So, first of all, they give us the product, which is 3 times 4 is 12, but 3 plus 4 is 7 and not negative 7. So what do we do? How do we manipulate these two to make sure that we get a negative 7 and still get a positive 12? We all know that 2 negatives multiplied, they give us a positive value, and 2 negatives added, they give us a negative value, meaning we just make these 2 values negatives, such that negative 3 plus negative 4 is negative 7, then negative 3 times negative 4 is 12. After doing that, the rest is really very easy. We can just rewrite our initial value, which is x squared minus 7x plus 12, and then becomes x squared. Instead of writing the sum, we are going to write the 2 numbers that we have confirmed, which is minus 3, but just attaching an x on each one of them. So it becomes minus 3x minus 4x, which is still negative 7x. We are just splitting it into 2. And then plus 12. And after here, we can just factorize out. What is common here and here? You can see that x is the common there. So we factorize out x and remain with x minus 3. What's common here and here? It's a 4. Because 4 goes into 4, 4 goes into 12. So minus 4 into x. What do we put here such that when we multiply back the negative 4 inside, this will be a plus? Of course, it has to be a negative 3. You can try it back upwards to make sure that we are on track. So it will be negative 4 times x, which is negative 4x. Negative 4 times negative 3, which is plus 12. Then you realize that x minus 3 is common again. So since it's common again, we are going to factorize it out. So we are factorizing out x minus 3. So that we remain with, if we remove this, only x remains. If we remove this, only negative 4 remains. And this is our final answer of our factorized value. So for factorizing, we are converging it onto only 2 brackets for multiplying. For expanding, that's when we multiply them out and they be very many different values. I hope you've picked this. You can check on numbers that have to do with factorization and apply this ABC sum and product method. Our next question is too direct. I'm not going to do part B. I'm just going to show you from here. And it is 5x plus 10y plus 6ny plus 3nx. How do you see there? Different ways. You can see 5 is common here and there. Then here you can see 3 is common, n is common. I hope you're already seeing something. So you just factorize out 5, so that will remain with x plus 2y, and then factorize out 3n. You're likely going to remain with x plus 2y. So here you have two brackets that are going to be similar, the same way on the number that we've just finished, where we had two similar brackets, this one and this one. That's what you're going to achieve on this, and then you factorize it out again so that you get your final answer. That will be nicer. Maybe I can do it for you faster. I hope you have already tried it as well, such that we move at the same pace. So it's 5x plus 10y, 5x plus 10y plus 6ny, then plus 3nx plus 3nx. So 5 is common. So remove out 5 to remain with x plus 2y plus 3 is common, n is common. So it is 3n. What do remain after removing 3 and n here? It's a 2 and y plus this will be x. You realize that it is x plus 2y. It is 2y plus x, which is also x plus 2y. So x plus 2y is common. And then in brackets, it's 5 plus 3n. Simple as that. Okay. The last one, I think I'm going to have to leave you with the last one. The last one, they say simplify. Same story. The one in the numerator side, you do the same way you've done this. So it's 10ax plus 6bx. You see x is common, 2 is common. Then this side, 5 is common. And after doing that, you find a way that one of them will cancel out. And in the denominator side, you realize that, remember the number in the previous video that I gave you that had difference of two squares. You realize that there is a square here, and there is a subtraction in the middle, and there is a 25. So whenever you say a minus in the middle and you say any other number as a square, just know that number is a difference of two squares. So what do? You're going to rewrite 4 as 2 squared, x squared minus 5 squared. And after represent that as a difference of 2 square factorized value, which will be 2x plus 5, 2x minus 5. And I believe in the numerator side, you may have one of those two so that it can cancel out and you are remaining with a very perfect final answer that is simplified. Thank you so much. We are going to be doing more numbers. Now we are done with manipulation. We are going to go into the real equations whereby these values are now, whatever I've been doing, is equated to 0, and we are able to solve different values of x, y, depending on what questions we will be having. So we meet at the next video where we're going to be solving and not just simplifying. Thank you.